1619, the beginning of slavery here in America and the basis for an acclaimed initiative by the New York Times Magazine to not only observe the 400th anniversary of slavery, but to examine how this country truly came to be.
The initiative is the 1619 Project. Here with more, welcome New York Times investigative reporter Nikole Hannah-Jones.
Hi, Nikole.
Hi.
Welcome to Chicago.
Thank you.
You know, I have been seeing people posting 1619, 1619, and I feel like as a black woman and an African-American woman, I should have known what 1619 meant. Explain to folks what this means.
Sure. So 1619, in August of 1619 is when the first group of 20 to 30 Africans were sold into the Virginia colony. And what the project is basically arguing is that that is actually as foundational to the American story as the year 1776, because nothing would be left untouched by that decision to engage in the institution of slavery.
Yeah, you're an investigative reporter. When you researched this, was there anything that shocked you or surprised you?
I've been studying race and inequality for a very long time, so I can't say anything surprised me. I think, though, what's probably the most surprising is how poorly we're taught about slavery and its legacy, that this is something that as a country we're very ashamed of. And so our children don't learn this history very well, and no matter what your race is, you don't really learn the history well. And so this was an effort to kind of try to correct the record.
Right, and how do we do that? What's been the reception to your initiative, 1619?
The reception has been overwhelming. We sold out of all of the copies of the project. We have 30,000 people on the waiting list. It's been mentioned by the minority leader to Congress. It was mentioned in presidential debate. People have really, really wanted to engage with the material. I think for most Americans, it's just been very surprising all that they didn't know about slavery and its effect on America and all they thought they knew.
Yeah, at the top of your Twitter page, you have 1776, July 4th crossed out.
Yes.
And replaced with the date August 20th, 1619.
Yes.
Why August 20th?
So August 20th, we don't know exactly what the day was when the first Africans were sold into Virginia, but August 20th is the day we commemorate that. We know what happened in August. And so I'm arguing, as I said, that our true founding was actually not 1776. Our true founding was when we decided to engage in slavery, because we know as Thomas Jefferson was writing the Declaration that we would issue to the world on July 4th, he owned 130 people. And black Americans, enslaved people, were not included in those founding documents, or were not intended to enjoy the freedoms of the Constitution. And we would argue that if you look across American life right now, almost nothing has been left untouched by that legacy.
Right. What would you say slavery's impact on modern day black America is?
Well, first, let me just reframe that. The impact is not just on black America. The impact is on the entire country. So if you read the project's conceit is you can look across all these aspects of American life, from why we have so much bad traffic in a place like Chicago. That is because of segregation. You can look at why we consume so much sugar, why we're the only industrialized nation without universal health care, why our system of incarceration is the largest in the world. And all of these are legacies of slavery. We just don't realize it.
What would you like to see happen with this project? Would you like to see this get implemented into schools?
So actually, it's a great question. The CEO of the Chicago Public Schools actually has implemented this into the curriculum. So every high school student in Chicago who goes to a Chicago public school is learning the 1619 Project curriculum. And across the country so far, 2,000 school districts have uploaded our curriculum and are teaching it. And students in every state in the union are learning the 1619 Project right now.
Wow, that's got to feel pretty rewarding.
Yeah, that's really impressive. But then you have those naysayers who think this is unpatriotic, who are dismissive of the 1619 initiative. What do you say to them?
Well, anyone who actually engages with the project and reads it cannot argue that it's unpatriotic. And I write the opening essay for the project, and it's the most patriotic thing I've ever written, because what I argue is that black Americans, even though we were excluded from the Constitution, we were enslaved under our founding documents, actually believed in the ideas of the Declaration and the Constitution, and have fought for 250 years to make them true for all Americans. That's extremely patriotic. We actually believed in the ideals even when the founders did not.
Right.
Nikole, thank you so much, and great work.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for being here.